Alert Level 3 is now up over Kanlaon Volcano on Negros Island after it erupted on Monday afternoon, December 9. FIVOX reports that the restive volcano, which sits between Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental, had an explosive eruption at its summit vent at 3:03 p.m. on Monday. According to FIVOX, the eruption produced a 3,000-meter-high plume which drifted west-southwest. The agency adds that pyroclastic density currents were observed descending the slopes of the general southeastern edifice. FIVOX defines pyroclastic density currents as mixtures of hot fragmented volcanic particles, gases, and ash that flow down the slopes of a volcano or move outward from the source vent at high speed. FIVOX says it raised the alert level of Kanlaon Volcano from 2 to 3, which indicates magmatic unrest. This means that magmatic eruption has begun and may progress to further explosive eruptions, according to the agency. State volcanologists remind all local government units to evacuate residents within a 6-kilometer radius from the summit of the volcano and to be prepared for further evacuations if necessary. Officials allegedly involved in the irregularities committed in spending the confidential funds of Vice President Sara Duterte's office and the Department of Education under her watch may face plunder charges among other complaints. During the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability hearing on Monday, December 9, Antipolo City Representative Romeo Acop says the misuse of public funds constitute graft and corruption.
Let me remind the public of what is at stake here. It would constitute graft and corruption if public funds are misused or misappropriated, or worse, if funds are diverted to personal use or benefit. And given the amount we are talking about here, this may be under the crime of plunder.
At the panel's November 25 hearing, two Office of the Vice President officials admitted to releasing millions worth of confidential funds to Security Officer Colonel Dennis Nolasco and the head of Duterte Security Group, Colonel Raymond La Chica. Office of the Vice President Special Dispersing Officer Gina Acosta revealed that she left all the confidential funds to La Chica, who was tasked to manage them. Similarly, former DepEd SDO Edward Fajardo said he released the funds to Nolasco, who was assigned by Duterte to disperse them. Acosta encashed 125 million pesos per quarter between late 2022 and 2023, while Fajardo encashed 37.5 million pesos per quarter in 2023. During Monday's hearing, Ako points out that the manner of dispersing the funds directly violated Commission on Audit Department of Budget and Management Joint Circular No. 2015-01, which mandates stringent documentation and clear accountability for confidential and intelligence funds. Batangas 2nd District Representative Jervil Luistro likewise mentions plunder but raises other offenses such as perjury and bribery.
All resource persons in inquiry in aid of legislation and even in all forms of investigation, we place them under oath. At ang lahat ng pagsisinungaling while under oath, we call it perjury. Again, the best illustration of an oral perjury are those committed by resource persons appearing in this investigation while making several misrepresentations.
The House panel on Good Government and Public Accountability is probing the alleged misuse of funds of the two offices under Duterte's helm. Duterte is currently facing 2 impeachment complaints filed by civil society organizations in the group Bayan. Acknowledgement receipts for the confidential fund expenditures of the Department of Education under Vice President Sara Duterte's watch were received by 3 Alice Crescencio with different signatures and addresses. At the hearing of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on Monday, December 9, Lanao del Sur 1st District Representative Zia Alonto Adyong shows 3 acknowledgement receipts signed by 3 Alice Crescencio, with one who lives in Pasay City, another in Iligan City, and another in Lanao del Sur.
Itong mga pangalan na po ito, Mr. Chair, ay hindi pangkaraniwan. And the chances are, what are the chances, Mr. Chair, that 3 different individuals, persons, have the same names and spelling? What are the chances, Mr. Chair? All receiving the same confidential funds for different purposes from the same agency, which is DepEd.
Adyong points out that those who created the acknowledgement receipts seem to be uncoordinated or might have overlooked the fact that they use the same name in signing receipts from different locations. He reveals that Alice Crescencio was among the names that had no record with the Philippine Statistics Authority. The lawmaker also noted that some acknowledgement receipts had different names with the same signature. Earlier in the hearing, panel chair Joel Chua revealed that 405 of the 677 individuals in the acknowledgement receipts of the Department of Education for its confidential funds have no record with the Philippine Statistics Authority. Similarly, the Philippine Statistics Authority attested in a certification issued on November 25 that a certain Mary Grace Piatos had a negative record of birth, marriage, and death in the PSA Civil Registry System database. At the November 20 hearing, Adjoang presented two acknowledgement receipts, one from the Office of the Vice President and one from the Department of Education, which were both received by a certain Kokoy Villamin. PSA's findings showed no records of Kokoy Villamin in its database. Mary Grace Piatos and Kokoy Villamin were among the names that surfaced during the investigation into the alleged misuse of the confidential funds of the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education. President Bongbong Marcos approves a measure that will promote mental health and well-being in basic education through the institution of school-based mental health programs. In a ceremony at the Malacañang Palace on Monday, December 9, Marcos enacts Republic Act No. 12080, or the Basic Education Mental Health and Well-Being Promotion Act. The new law aims to enhance mental health initiatives in schools by mandating mental health programs in all public and private schools. It also allows the creation of new school counselor positions, care centers in schools for mental health services, and a mental health and well-being office in each school division that would oversee the law's implementation.
Through this act, schools will become sanctuaries of learning and of well-being. Care centers staffed by trained professionals will provide counseling and stress management workshops and implement programs to reduce stigma around mental health. Teaching and non-teaching personnel will have access to resources that empower them to support students while safeguarding their own well-being.
Marcos likewise enacts Republic Act No. 12078, or the amendment to the Agricultural Tariffication Act. This measure will extend the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund for 6 years and increase its annual allocated budget from 10 billion pesos to 30 billion pesos. The President also signs Republic Act No. 12079, or the VAT refund for non-resident tourists, which allows foreign visitors of the country to claim rebates for purchases exceeding 3,000 pesos from accredited stores. The Philippine Embassy in the United Arab Emirates is awaiting an instruction from Manila if they can use the House of Representatives' arrest order against Harry Roque in order to collate more information on the former presidential spokesperson's stay in the UAE. In a radio interview on Monday, December 9, Philippine Ambassador to the UAE, Alfonso Ferdinand Ver, says that based on the last information they received, Roque and his wife Myla are still in the UAE. Ver says they are waiting if there would be a directive from Manila to use the house arrest warrant against Roque, since authorities in the UAE will not give details about him without an arrest warrant or Interpol notice. The Bureau of Immigration earlier said Roque likely left the country through illegal means. Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Viados said that verification with their records showed that Roque has no recent attempt to depart the Philippines via formal channels. Viados said that his legal team is already studying filing more cases against Roque for his supposed illegal travel. Roque is implicated in the qualified human trafficking case against Cassandra Leong and several others concerning the alleged illegal activities of the Pogo Hub Lucky South 99 Corporation. He has an outstanding arrest order from the House of Representatives after being cited for contempt and ordered detained due to his failure to submit documents that would justify the alleged sudden increase in his wealth.